Hi, Stu from Stoo's Secret Stash here, and for something different, I'm looking at a palm tree. And there's a reason behind that, because my mate Trev has assured me that he's got a pocket rocket that I am going to want to drive. So I'm here, I'm not allowed to look until he tells me that I can turn around and look at his wonderful pocket rocket that he's very proud of. And Trev, you there, buddy?
I'm here. Turn on around.
Okay, mate. So let me know when I can turn around and have a look at your pocket rocket or lovely machine, whatever you'd like to call it.
3, 2, 1, now.
Okay.
Where are you going?
I assume it's in the garage.
No, it's here.
Here, where?
Here, you're looking at it.
Trev, I'm very pleased you've had enough money to be able to buy a stainless steel fridge at last. But Stu's Secret Stash is about cars, music, and travel. So where's the other car, buddy?
Here we have an i30 N-Line 2022.
Oh, Jeremy Clarkson now. So, Jeremy, what is the go with this bar fridge, buddy?
Bar fridge. It's a powerful bar fridge. It's 150 kilowatts of raw power.
From that?
From this.
Yep. You're kidding.
205 horsepower.
And where did you dream this up, Trev?
From Hyundai.
So this is a factory-produced car.
Yep, N-Line they call it.
An i30 Hyundai, which I normally wouldn't. I mean, they serve their purpose, but I wouldn't have looked twice at one. So you're telling me this car comes out with 130 kilowatts?
150
kilowatts, I should say.
Kilowatts.
i30, yeah, that's true. With 150 kilowatts. So I imagine it goes pretty well.
It does. It surprises you. It surprises me.
Wow.
So
and this, I believe, this is the boss's vehicle.
Oh yes. So please don't scratch it.
You only get to drive it occasionally when your wife lets you.
Wedding anniversary.
So the N-Line, what's the significance of the N-Line?
N-Line, now I'm not 100% sure here, it's to do with the Nurburgring.
Ah, yes.
It's classed as
Germany,
a sport.
the racetrack in Germany?
Because it's classed as a sports car as such.
Wow.
Yes. There's only one higher than this, which is the straight N. It's not an N-Line. Yes. And the higher one come out in powder blue only.
Yes, I have seen those.
Yep. And it's quicker than this. And this is quick.
So this is a 4-cylinder turbo, I assume?
Yeah, 1.6 litre turbo.
1.6 litre turbo.
Yep.
Automatic?
Yes, 7-speed dual clutch.
7-speed dual clutch.
Yep.
I never thought I'd see the day where I'd be celebrating a performance Hyundai.
Neither did a lot of people.
Well, Trev, what are you waiting for? Let's go for a drive, buddy.
Let's go for a squirt.
Yep, no worries. So here we are, folks, in the Hyundai i30 N-Line. 150 kilowatts of pure muscle, I believe.
205 horsepower.
205 horsepower.
Claimed.
It's very quiet. Seems quite refined for a Hyundai. Something that Hyundais are very well known for being, neat cars. They're very functional, but performance is not usually one of the attributes that I would associate with it. So how long have you had this car, Trev?
It's a 22 model and it was bought brand new, so nearly 3 years.
Right, and your wife loves it?
Loves it. Won't part with it. I'm hoping to end up with it one day.
when your wife is convinced that she needs to update to another car,
yeah, she actually wants to go high, like a higher, like SUV type vehicle.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So when that happens, because I've got an i30 myself, but it's just a basic run of the mill.
You got a pauper pack.
I have. Well, actually, no, it's the second up from the pauper pack, but still, that's not this.
So this thing has amazing acceleration, from what I'm led to believe.
It does.
What else makes it special? I mean,
its handling capabilities.
Looking around it, it's beautifully trimmed, and it really is nicely presented for what I would have thought was at a first glance a little Japanese tin box. Like I said, I first thought when you told me, you showed me this car, I said, all right, well, I'm very happy that you've been able to buy a stainless steel fridge, a bar fridge, but let's take me to a real car.
Kelvinator.
Not aware, of course, that this car puts out 150 kilowatts.
Yep.
So I'm not expecting you to know to 0 to 100 specs, but I imagine that's pretty quick.
It is. It surprised me. I've given it a bit of a caning here and there, but
well, perfectly within the law, of course.
Of course, yeah. It really surprises me, not only the pace, but how it actually handles and sits on the road.
Yeah.
I
noticed it's got a low profile wheels, which they look great.
Yeah.
One thing I can say, it's got quite a harsh ride.
Yep.
I'll say that. I'm not here to criticise cars, but it does have quite a harsh ride. But if you can put up with that, I guess if performance is your baby, well, there's usually a sacrifice to be made.
That's it. That's right.
And I imagine she's pretty frugal on fuel as well.
Yeah, highway cycle about 5.5.
Wow.
Litres to 100. Round town, 7-ish.
Yeah, okay.
So,
gone are the days where we used to drive V8s that got 22 litres per 100 kilometres and those kind of things.
Exactly.
Sucking fuel through a carburetor, you know.
Exactly right.
Well, when I say gone are the days, I still live in those days, but not as a daily driver.
You couldn't afford it these days.
Well, not long distances, no. I take mine out for a squirt and it puts a smile on my face, but
goes back in my
put
shed.
it back in the shed again and get something that's a lot more frugal, even if it's a fuel injected V8 or something. You know, it's the technology has made a big difference in these cars
for sure.
So it's got, I imagine it's got a number of airbags. It's got air conditioning and all that kind of stuff.
Climate control, dual zone air conditioning, dual zone climate control rather.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's 7 airbags, 7 speaker sound system.
Wow.
Your phone connectivity, all that usual jazz with new cars. Leather appointed.
Awesome. So he's hoping that you get another vehicle passed down to you at some point.
Yeah. See what happens. I won't harp on it, because the more you harp, the longer you wait.
That's it, mate. That's it, mate. When the boss is ready.
Yeah. One of these days she'll just say, I want a new car, you're having this. Okay.
Yep.
What's the usual term? Yes, dear.
You'll go far with that response. Hit record.
Handbrake just automatically releases.
Oh. Automatic release on the handbrake, Trev. Getting very civilised.
Flash.
What does Jeremy think about this?
He thinks it's a very interesting vehicle to drive. 0 to 100 a little bit quicker than a Suzuki. See what I mean?
Pulls very nicely.
It does.
It's probably worth having a look at the reaching across and having a look at the digital readout on the Speedo. Very interesting looking Speedo readout.
It is, yep.
And it gets there in a hurry.
It does. Doesn't muck around. Lane assist, as you can see on the dashboard.
Yeah. Paddle shifts.
Paddle shift. Sport mode, if that's how you want to use it, but
yeah, right.
We just do that. I only do that occasionally for a bit of fun when I want to scare myself, because it does get scary if you want to push it to the limit.
I'm not looking for criticisms, but I'm always looking for sensible things to say about the cars. Yep. Performance-wise, it's unreal. Economy-wise, pretty out there as well, pretty amazing.
Yep.
If I had a criticism, there's a fair bit of tyre and wind noise.
Yeah.
I could put up with that, but I want people to be able to tune into Stoo's Secret Stash and go, all right, that's an interesting thought, you know?
Yep.
Certainly a great way to get into the performance market at a very reasonable price, though.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it drives really well. You can feel the pull on the steering.
Yep.
It's which for me, being an old school person, it's a little bit off-putting, but I guess that's the way of the future, and I guess I've got to get with the times, Jeremy.
Yes, that's exactly what we need to do here, Mr. Copeland. Is, get with the times.
And I guess you could say Stoo's Secret Stash could be summed up in the words of living in the past in many ways. But yeah, nostalgia is a great thing.
It is. Let's just call it nostalgia.
And personally, I think there's a mix there. I love the idea of driving some of these classic cars that have been resto modded to a degree.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about all cars because obviously you're a keeper of a car that features in another episode, and it's best kept original like it is. But
for its reasons, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
No, visibility is quite good. A lot of modern cars that I've driven, these support panels here are further around and they appear to be in the road, so
a lot wider. Yeah.
they seem to be a lot. Yeah, it seems to be well placed. I like the black. The black blends in very nicely.
Charcoal, I think they call it.
Charcoal, right. And I suspect that many a boy racer has been given a really big spanking by one of these little buzz boxes with someone at the wheel who knew exactly what they were doing.
Exactly.
So 2022, this
2022 machine. Model, yes. Yep. So coming on to 3 years old.
Wow.
Actually, it is 3 years old. It's June 22 build date.
41,000 Ks. So it's only really just run in, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
It's yeah, like I said, it drives very nicely.
Yep.
It's probably an ancestor from the Mini Cooper S. I imagine. Does it have an east-west motor in it? Do you know? There's a yeah. Most of these motors, of course, folks, what we collectively call the hot hatches.
That's it.
And they come from the legendary Mini Coopers, or Minis to be exact.
Minis, yep.
That had the motors turned around, so they were what they call east-west.
Yep. Front-wheel drive.
And front-wheel drive. And Alec Izagonis, who was the creator of Minis, has got a lot to answer for these days in performance little machines. So, and Jeremy, I imagine you would have driven a fair few of those performance machines over the years. Oh no, sorry, that's Top Gear. That's the real Jeremy Clarkson.
I'm just trying to take him off. Thank you.
Yeah, don't give up your day job, Trev. Of course, we've picked a lovely day to go for a drive because those people like us who live on the mid-north coast and north coast know that 2025 has been a time of immense rainfall.
Yes, and it's getting a bit tiring.
And I imagine, as beautiful as this car is to drive, I reckon if you gave it a workout in the wet with the front-wheel drive, I reckon it would be pretty hairy.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
Yep. Especially if you turn off the traction control, then you're in the you're in the arms of the gods, let's say.
So did you say it's got lane assist as well?
Lane assist and traction control.
So if you decided, not that I'm going to, but if you decided to give it a hard time, it would be pulling on the steering wheel pretty violently, I would imagine.
For sure, you've got to have hold of it.
And I did drive a car recently in Perth, and it was set up with all those modern hoo-has, and tell the truth, I thought it was outrageously horrible to drive.
Yep.
But it wasn't a performance car like this. So there you are, folks. With Stoo's Secret Stash has now driven a beautiful stainless steel bar fridge. I mean, a Hyundai i30 N-Line. So there's always a first, and we've just done it again. Thank you for your time, Jeremy.
Pleasure was all mine. Partially.